Hey, what's up, VC? It's Glenn in South Texas with another video. Thank you for tuning in. And today I'm calling it Best of the Rest. These are some albums and things that I picked up during 2021. Now, I had some great ones I showed in my first two videos. One of the first video included the complete catalog from the 13th Floor Elevator, so you might want to go check that one out if you haven't seen it. Also did the Rob Walker Let the Music Play Vinyl Tag 2022. I want to say thanks again to Rob Walker for his kind words that he left on my video. Also want to thank some other great VC members who have left some very kind words. Thank you very much to Pete CD Vinyl World, Sean Spins, Stereo 999, Chris Burt, Happy Hippie the Vinyl Guy, and the Flip Side Vinyl Community with JC. Thank y'all for the kind words of encouragement. They are much appreciated. Now, some of the stuff that I picked up in 2021, you know, you can't knock everything out of the park. You know, sometimes you find stuff and you just wonder, you know, what in the world? Get a look at these guys. It made me wonder, you know, is this for real? Well, no, it was a stage show. It was Tommy Scott's Bluegrass. I can't remember if that was the actual name of the stage show. On the back here, you've got liner notes written by Sunset Kit Carson. If you want to read that, I'll try and get that on there. And it just kind of explains a little bit about Tommy Scott's Bluegrass. The guy actually did a lot of stuff, and from what I understand, he was he did like medicine shows and things like that back in the day, and I'm sure carnivals and things like that. You know, when you live in a rural community, you know, the big show would roll into town, and they were part of the entertainment a lot of times. And I can't say it's one of the best albums I've ever heard, or it's really not that great, to be honest, but Rolling in My Sweet Baby's Arms is pretty cool. And the history of Tommy Scott is pretty interesting, so something you might want to check out. Also, what is better than finding one copy of Ufo Strangers in the Night? How about two copies? Two near mint copies, and one of them is it this one? Yeah, this is the gold stamp promo, which is cool. It's not a white label, but hey, I'll take it. Gold stamp promo. This one just a regular pressing, early pressing of Ufo Strangers in the Night. And wow, to find two near mint copies, that was a good day. I had to get them both. I love UFO. I saw them, I believe it was in 2012. I want to say it was 2012, it might have been 2011, down in San Antonio, and they were just great, man. Love me some UFO. If you've never heard Love to Love, the live version on here, it is spectacular, man, as is the rest of the album. You can't go wrong with UFO. Also, I picked this up. Not a big fan of digital vinyl, to be honest. But when it's all you can get, I mean, like it says here, the first album from Steely Dan. Love Steely Dan. First album in 25 years. Man, you got to pick it up. And Donald Fagen and the band sound great. Of course, no Walter Becker on this one. But just great, man. I enjoyed it. You know, as soon as side 2 was over, man, I was rushing to put the second one on the platter, man. And just a great album. Again, you know, I'm not a big fan of digital vinyl, but sometimes, you know, you got to bite the bullet, and it's not bad. It sounds really good, so I recommend that one. Also, and I talked about in my first video the collection I bought that had the entire 13th Floor Elevators, all their albums, the whole discography. Take two, discography. This was in there too, and it had a bent corner, and it was sealed, and it also said it was it has a CRC on the spine, which means, you know, it's a Columbia House, I guess, a record club edition. So I thought, you know what the heck, I'm going to open this up and I'm going to check it out because it has a AA on it. But you know, the AB is supposedly the one to have. If it's got the AB in the matrix, and lo and behold, this was one. This had the, it's got the, of course, liner notes, and then a mint copy. It's an AB. It's got the B crossed out. I don't know if you can see that. But I'll take it, and it sounds great. I've got the AA copy, and it's clean, but this really does, to me, to my ears, sounds better. And so I was really glad to find that. One of the things I picked up early on in the year was this. And if you've never heard of this album, 9 to the Universe, it's a posthumous release, of course, and I think it came out in 1980. I want to say 1980 on Reprise. And it was produced by Alan Douglas. Now, he did several things, several different albums and collections, and I guess like studio outtakes and things from Jimi Hendrix back in the day. Now, Alan Douglas is somebody else you ought to acquaint yourself with because he's got a pretty interesting past. He produced Art Blakey and the Jazz Messengers' Three Blind Mice album. He also did the Duke Ellington, Mingus, and Max Roach Money Jungle album, and just a lot of interesting stuff to learn about Alan Douglas. And that album, 9 to the Universe from Jimi Hendrix, is definitely one to pick up. Lots of, it's like jazz fusion almost, and it was basically just Hendrix outtakes of him warming up, him and the band warming up, and man, it sounds great, and very interesting stuff, all instrumental. 9 to the Universe, Jimi Hendrix. Also, if you're not a big fan of classical music, I promise this won't last long. But, you know, I dabble. I think it's important. I think it's cool. Not everything is my cup of tea. I'm not like some people. I'm not super soaked up into classical music, but this is really pretty good. Now, I think the version you want of Scheherazade is on RCA. I think it's a living stereo, if memory serves. I've never run across that, but I have run across lots and lots of Columbia Masterworks albums, and most of them sound really not good. Either very noisy vinyl, which this has a little bit of that, but a lot of times just fidelity-wise, they're not that great. This is not the case with this one. So if you can get you a copy cheap, this was pretty fun to listen to. I enjoyed it very much. And so if you're not necessarily into classical music, this may be one to pick up and check out. And again, you know, the Columbia Masterworks, they don't go for much, so you can probably get it for a buck or two. Just try and find the cleanest copy you can. Which is funny because Columbia does know how to produce some great sounding records. Like this one, Ellington Jazz Party in Stereo, Duke Ellington and his orchestra. This is crazy good. Now, I do like Duke Ellington. I'm a Duke Ellington guy. I like Count Basie. I love listening to Louis Armstrong. You know, I dig this stuff. Certain albums, not all of them, but this is just crazy good. It is just what it says. It's a jazz party in stereo. It sounds great. The music is great. One to pick up. I got this. A friend of mine's boyfriend's dad passed away, and she was kind enough to leave me his collection. And there was a lot of Les Elgert and Percy Faith, but there was also some Ellington in there and some other great stuff, some Brubeck. And so very happy to get that. Thank you, Jana, if you're out there in YouTube land. But this is definitely one to pick up. Sounds good, great music. You can't beat Duke Ellington. Also, I picked this up because I'd heard it was such a great album. I think Michael Fremer was talking about it. I love Michael Fremer's channel, by the way. I don't even get involved in all the drama going on with the, the ERC pressings and all that. But I just watch everybody. I enjoy it all. Anyway, Fremer, you know, you can't hardly go wrong with things that he recommends. And this was one, and he was right. I really dig it. And I'm a huge jazz guy. I've become more so, like with each passing year, because it's so cool to, you know, to learn about a history and about this music that I really didn't know much about 10, 12 years ago. And like I said, with every year, I learn a little more and enjoy it a little more. And I suggest you get into jazz if you have an open mind. Also bought this one, Ken McAuliffe. Always talking about this one, so I had to pick it up. Got this one on the eBay, and I believe it's a second pressing. It came out the same year, 1966, but I think it's a repress on this one. But really great stuff. 1966, Sonny Rollins and the Alfie soundtrack. All right, let's go ahead and do a few 7-inch singles. How about this one? Pink Floyd. And this has actually got Bring the Boys Back Home. You know, when I bought the wall, I thought, man, they really should issue Bring the Boys Back Home. No, I didn't think that. I don't think anybody else did either, but they did, along with a track called When the Tigers Broke Free that was on the final cut. And so, had to pick that one up. Alice Cooper, School's Out. Also Gutter Cat. It's an original pressing. And love that. Gotta love the original. Crocus did a cover. Wasn't nearly as good. Although I'm a fan of Crocus. Yeah, it's got the Arista label on it. Very 80s Arista label. And but there's a live version of Screaming in the Night, which is pretty cool on here. Mark Storace on vocals. Just letting it all hang out, man. Very cool stuff from Crocus. One worth picking up. Probably not a big money item, but, you know, I like it. And then I bought another collection from a cousin of mine who, he's married now. He was looking for some extra cash, so I said, I'll buy some records from you. So some of the stuff he had was some Sun 78's. Little Carl Perkins. Yeah, again, it's not Elvis Sun 78, but love having it, man. You know, I had never, these are my first Sun 78's. I've got a box full of 45's, but the other one I have, Johnny Cash, Ballad of a Teenage Queen, and Big River, which is very cool. So great to have those. And I guess that's all I've got for today. Just wanted to check back in with everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in. I want to throw a shout out to Robert Fithen, fellow radio man. He's making videos like a crazy man, and they're great too. You should check them out. Thanks everybody for tuning in, and I'll talk to you again soon. Bye now.